Hello again, this is Sam from Atlanta, also known as SoundSquire on some of the message boards. And I want to talk about some of the editing functions in Acoustica Mixcraft Pro Studio 6.1. The first thing I want to talk about is the grid, and we've actually got two options here. We've got both beats, which it's set to right now, and then we can also see time across the grid, so we can check the length of songs, and this one's just under 5 minutes. Okay, some of the basic editing functions in Mixcraft. Let's start with something simple here, just moving clips around and also snapping to the grid. Now right now I've got snap off, so if I move something, it's just going to go to an arbitrary position. Now if I want to get this lined up with the beat, I actually have to turn snap on, so we'll turn this to snap to measure, and that way we can kind of pop it back into the place it was in before. Zooming. Now zooming in Mixcraft is pretty simple. You just use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, to zoom horizontally, that is. We can also, move up and down. Then we've also got up here in the view under the menu, we've got all track heights, so we can change this to normal. We can also change it to large and see more of the waveform on various clips. Now let's just change this back to small, a little easier to navigate around. So we can also do some looping, some cycling in Mixcraft, and I want to do some edits here on, track 8 right here, at about measure 21. So let me switch this back to beats so I can find where I'm at in the song, and what I'm going to do is just select this region right here. Actually, I'll go ahead and select several measures. And then we'll go down here and turn on this function. This is the loop mode, or the cycling mode for Mixcraft. Now if we play this, let me solo these two tracks, these two percussion tracks here. These are the ones that I want to work on. And if we play this, we'll notice that they're both kind of going at once here. And what I want to do is I want to crop this or trim this one here, the second one, track number 8. To about this point. So it's very simple. As you saw, I just grab the end of the clip and move it over, and that's the trimming function. Now if I undo that, I'll also have the option of cropping this section as well. So you just simply select the area of the track that you want to keep, and then hit the shortcut key for cropping is Control Q, and that also serves the same function. Okay, let me undo that as well. Now we're going to talk about splitting a track. I can do the same thing at this point. I can also split this track, and just by using the shortcut key Control T, and select the part that I want to get rid of and simply delete it. So now that we've got that fixed there, let's go on and actually let's listen to that real quick. So now we've got this part that comes in. And then that part that comes in at measure 25. Okay, so let's go on to joining, and I'll unsolo these here so we can, and also take off the loop mode so we can find the next tracks we want to work on, and that's going to be on track 24. We've got this part right here that's actually split into two separate clips. So if I turn the snap off and I try to move this around, if I want to move both of these at the same time, they're not connected. So let me put that back to the position it was in, and if I want to merge them, very simple. I just grab both of the tracks, select both of the tracks, and the shortcut key is Control W, and that merges those two clips together, and now I can move them around wherever I want to in the tune. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is crossfading, and I've actually got a little bit of a problematic track, this drum fill here on track 25. Let's zoom in on it, and I can also just drag this down to get a better view of it, and let's solo this out, and we'll loop it. Let's turn the snap on so we get a good selection here. I just want to loop these two measures. We'll turn the loop mode on. Let's listen to this here and see what we've got. Now don't know if you can hear that, but there's a click, there's a pop that's going on right here and also at the end. So what we're going to do is insert a crossfade. There's actually two separate loops here, two instances of this loop. So I'm going to put a crossfade in right there at the part where I think it's popping. We'll turn the snap off so we can do a real precise movement. And let's see, we'll also do a crossfade on this one and see if that takes care of it. That should make it better. Now we've also got one down here at the end that I want to edit as well. So I'm just going to trim that a little bit and see if I can get that. I think that's where the peak is, or that's where the the pop is. So let's hear that again and see what it sounds like now. Still have a little bit of a pop here at the end, so I'm going to trim that just a little bit more. Okay, that sounds pretty good at the end now. Now I'm still hearing the pop here in the middle. It's probably going to be difficult to edit this out with a crossfade, so I'm going to use a little trick here. I'm going to turn on a plugin called the Transient Vitalizer, and I have this actually set to a soft enhance, and what that's going to do is kind of mask that pop a little bit. So let's see what it sounds like now. A little bit better. We'll probably have to go in and edit that one, edit the waveform in an audio editor. Moving on though, let's talk about naming some of these tracks. There's a couple of tracks, a couple of drum tracks here, track 1 and 2, that I want to take a look at naming. Let me actually turn everything off that's soloed here. And basically, these two tracks here, track 1 and 2, I've got them named with the kit. So let's go down here in the mixer, and this is actually the kick drum track, which is a heavy metal kit. That's what I was referring to. And then this second track here is actually snares and hi-hats. So I just want to name them appropriately. And you just go and double click on the track name, and we'll type in actually kick for this. And on this one, we'll go in and name it snares and hats. Okay, so now that we've got those changed, I also want to change the color of these tracks too. I like to kind of make my drum tracks red. That's my preference. So let's go to properties here, and I want to change the color of this to this nice red color, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the snares and hats track. We're just going to right click on the track, go to properties, color, and click on red. So now those two tracks are red. And you'll also see that the clips themselves are red, as well as the track itself. Now, as far as markers in this tune doesn't have any markers in it currently, and I'd like to put some markers in. The start, or the very beginning beat, is automatically named start, so let's change that to intro. And then I also want to put one at about 17, measure 17, because that's where, let's actually turn snap on so it'll snap right to that measure. This is where kind of the breakdown in this song starts. So let's call that to breakdown. And we'll click OK. And we can also change the color of those markers too, by the way. Speaking of changing colors, and we can also add some more markers here. Now this is where the drop happens, is at measure 33. So I'm going to add another marker here. I want to call this one drop. And then I've also got a B section at about 65, I think is where the B section starts. Yeah, so here we go. So let's add another marker here, and I'll just call this B section. Okay, so now we've got these markers up here. It'll be a little easier to navigate around the tune with the markers and also with the color changes that we've made. And that about covers it for the basic editing functions in Mixcraft Pro Studio 6.1. And just wanted to say thank you for watching, and have a great one.